We're about to have a crisis. A lady crisis. Here we go.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
You are now listening to Home of Halloween's podcast. This is the horror movie review podcast run and controlled by you, the listeners.
You wanna die tonight?
You choose the movies I review. You also get to have your say in the 3-word review.
It's time you fucks contributed something to the cause.
I promise you, you have never heard a podcast like this before, so welcome to the You Run podcast.
Are we having fun now?
No.
Hello and welcome. This week, it's Killer Classics Week. I am so excited for this episode. Not only do I get to review A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I've put in so many polls, and you always pick something else. What is up with that? So this week, my guest has chosen the movie, and she has chosen A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I've wanted for so long, so I'm going to thank her for that before she's even arrived. My guest this week is Lady Crysis. I'm sure you've seen on our Instagram stories all week and on TikTok duets and bits that we've done together, and she genuinely is incredibly talented at what she does. Obsessed with Freddy Krueger, and I'm honoured to have her on the show. We're going to talk about everything: Nightmare on Elm Street, TikTok, cosplaying, DJing, you name it, we're going to cover it. Not only that, Lady Crysis is going to be incredibly brave, and she is going to be the first person to take on our brand new quiz, which is Purge or Play. This quiz, I am not shitting you, makes Horror Not Horror look like I'm giving people the answers. This is the hardest horror quiz ever. And it's deliberately hard. And I want to see just how hard I can make it and how well people can push through that barrier. It's really going to be a challenge for anyone taking this on. Probably more so for Lady Crysis, because she's never heard anyone else do it. So she's going into this completely blind, not knowing what to expect. So we're going to find out later on just how well she does. But before we do any of that, I want to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm going to kick off that conversation by playing you the trailer.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
You could just see cuts happening.
What did that, Lieutenant?
I don't know.
Tina! What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
They're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
No!
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Where to begin with Wes Craven's creation, A Nightmare on Elm Street? Where do I start? I thought about it long and hard of how deep I go and how much I talk about. And I've decided I'm going to make it really simple. So we're going to kick it off with your scores. And if you're listening to this and you do follow us on Instagram, it's at Home of Halloween, you will have realised that I forgot to ask you for your scores until the day before I release this. So what I'm recording now has been added and adapted because I fucked up, and I'm not afraid to say that I fucked up, but I forgot to get your scores. You've given your scores. So the scores are done in a percentage of how much you will enjoy the movie and then how much the movie will scare you. And A Nightmare on Elm Street scored around about what I thought it would, and it is now the highest scoring movie we've ever had on the show. So for the movie, the quality of the movie, this has scored 96%. You, the listeners, have said there is a 96% chance someone is going to like this movie. And then for fear, for how scary it is, you've said there's an 82% chance of this movie scaring someone. That is a phenomenal score. And I don't know what other movies we're going to review this season or potentially even next season that are going to top that. I just can't see it, but we will see. So you've scored this movie 96% at 82. That is an incredible score for an incredible movie. When this movie was released, horror had become relatively stale. It was very much single-toned slasher movies. You had your Michael Myers, you had your Jason Voorhees. It was all very much the same thing. Wes Craven completely reinvented horror with this movie. The conception of a villain who comes after you in your dreams and you've got no way of escaping is genius. The character design of Freddy Krueger is outstanding, and he's genuinely, in this movie in particular, he's genuinely scary. And I know that Robert Englund wasn't Wes Craven's first choice, but I do not think anyone else could have made this movie as big as it was. I think the success of this movie is on the back of how well it was performed by Robert Englund. The delivery of everything, the movements, everything he does is to build fear. And it's outstanding. It's fucking stellar. I'm guessing that most people have seen this movie now, being that it's almost a cornerstone of what the entire horror genre is built on. If you've not seen it, go and see it. The listeners have said there's a 96% chance you're going to enjoy it, and I'm going to go as far as to say there's a 100% chance you're going to enjoy this movie. I'm not going to go into deep dives in this movie. The plot isn't actually that complicated. You've got a demon who's coming after you in your dreams, and he can kill you in your dreams. And that is pretty much the plot that everything is built around, and it's excellent. It's absolutely superb. That's what I think, but we're going to get your 3-word reviews and find out what you think of this movie. I asked you for them. You delivered them. This week's 3-word reviews. I knew, being the fact it's A Nightmare on Elm Street, there would be a little bit of an uptake on the 3-word review. I was not expecting the quantity of 3-word reviews that you threw at me constantly. Even days after the 3-word review went out, I was still getting people say, oh, I've got one. And I've got to thank you for that, because I love the 3-word review, as anyone who's listened to previous episodes know. It's one of my favourite segments, because it's your chance to tell me what you think. And yeah, the uptake was incredible. Anyone who's not listened to the show before, thank you very much for listening, first of all. But I'm going to tell you what the 3-word review is, because you might not know. So the 3-word review on all of our social medias every week is we're at Home of Halloween everywhere apart from TikTok, where You Run podcast. We put out the 3-word review. It's a picture of the movie, and you give it your 3-word review. I pick the best ones. You get a read on the air and a shout out for your account, and get added to our Instagram story so everyone can see who you are and you can all follow each other. This week we've had some really good ones in. So we've had Horror Review Girl, Simply the Best. Horror Review Girl is a horror movie reviewer on Instagram. Her reviews are really good as well, really in depth. They're very, very similar. She's almost like a mirror account in a way of MW Horror Reviews, who joined us for the season finale. And I know they both talk, and they talk movies, and their reviews, both of them are fantastic. We've got Deadites and Boomsticks, Don't Fall Asleep, and they're a mixed fandom account on Instagram. We've got Mason Mark's author, Wes Craven's Best. And he's an author of a book called Militant. If you go over to his page, you'll be able to follow links to his Amazon, and you'll be able to download the audiobook and everything like that. I've not done it yet, but I do read a lot. So Mason Marks, it is on my list to download your book. We've got Vance Out, who has said Razor Sharp Dreams. Vance Out is a fellow podcaster who I've been talking to today. He's a really nice guy. What more can I say? Really nice guy, really nice podcaster. I've not listened to his show yet, but again, that's on my list. I'm so many podcasts I need to listen to, and so many things I need to do. But yeah, he's definitely on the list to listen to. We've got one through from That Biker Who Plays Sax, Never Sleep Again. I love that biker who plays sax. I love the profile. Movies, motorcycles, food, and funny business. What more could you want from an account? That pretty much covers the whole fucking lot, really. And finally this week is Video Tasties, some scary shit. Video Tasties is a VHS and merchandise collector. If you get the chance, if you see him go live on Instagram, go and watch his live. His collection of merchandise and VHS and toys and games and everything he's got, the room he keeps everything, it's like Aladdin's cave. I could spend months in there just going through all the horror movies he's got, and he's got The Exorcist on VHS. It's an incredible. So if you get the chance and you see him go live, go and watch it, and give all of them a follow. All of their handles will be in the episode bio for this episode, so you'll be able to find them there and track them down and give them all a follow. And thank you very much to all six of our 3-word reviewers this week, and that was this week's 3-word review.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Let's talk facts on A Nightmare on Elm Street. There is a laundry list of facts for this. Literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Pages and pages, and entire podcast dedicated to the facts around this movie. There's YouTube videos. There's so much. So I've tried to whittle it down and pick just the best ones. And then there are some fuck-ups. We'll get to fuck-ups too. I got a little bit of shit on my first episode back for adding fuck-ups. So I got a couple of people who reached out to me and went, "Oh, you're just picking holes in the movie." No, that's not what the fuck-ups are for. I'm not going, "You fucked up, that's terrible." What I'm doing is going, I know you have seen these movies countless times. I dread to think, the people listening now, how many times you've seen A Nightmare on Elm Street. It could be double, or some people even triple digits. So I know you're going to watch it again. I'm going to give you some visual fuck-ups that when you watch it next, you can spot them. And it just gives you something else to look for in a film you've seen a million times. So I'm not slagging off the movies. I fucking love horror movies. I'm not here to pick holes and criticise. Unless the movie's shit. And this film isn't. But I am going to show you some fuck-ups that you can go and find and have a bit of fun with. So that's my rant over. Let's start with the facts. So Heather Langenkamp beat 200 actresses to her role as Nancy. 200! Including Demi Moore and Courtney Cox. And we all know that Wes Craven later cast Courtney Cox in Scream. So I wonder how much Courtney Cox sat in his head for that time period. Whether it was always an intention to use her. one of the main reasons Johnny Depp was picked for this movie, and I love this, Johnny Depp is an incredible actor, incredibly talented, but that wasn't one of the main reasons he was picked for this movie. One of the main reasons he was picked is because Wes Craven's daughter thought he was dreamy. I'll let that sink in. Okay, I'm sure it's sunk in. I agree with her. I'm a straight man, but Johnny Depp is a dreamy guy. He's a hunky guy. I can appreciate a hunky, dreamy guy. And yeah, 100%, I would have cast him too. He's great. What else can you say? It took 3 hours for Robert Englund to get into his makeup. And literally 30 seconds for him to tear it off again. But sometimes it would take much longer. So there were multiple makeup artists who worked on Robert Englund. And depending which one he got, his makeup could go from anywhere from 3 hours to 6 hours. The movie cost $1.8 million to produce, which was a lot of money when this was made. The studio were a little bit nervous about that. And, well, it turned out that it made that back in its opening weekend. So over 2 days, it made all that money back. The words Elm Street are never spoken in this movie. Not once. My final fact is a long list of celebrities who auditioned for the part of Glenn, who weren't celebrities at the time, who all become huge. So, John Cusack, Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Brad Pitt, and even Nicolas Cage auditioned for the part of Glenn, none of which got the role. Let's give you some fuck-ups. Again, visual fuck-ups. I'm not digging at the movie. Please do not DM me. Don't at me. I'm not digging holes. I'm giving you something to go and find to make you a bit more fun to watch it. So the size of Nancy's pimple on her forehead changes from scene to scene. And we're not talking like a little bit. It's a lot. Maybe it's to do with the makeup artist. Maybe it was depending on which makeup artist she had, depending on how big that pimple was. You can see the crash mat when Nancy jumps from the boiler room out onto the lawn when she jumps out of her dream. You can see her land on the crash mat. And finally, when Freddy is knocked off the stairs, one of the blades on his glove breaks off. And you can clearly see it break off, and it actually pings in the air. When he stands up and puts his hand up, it's magically back. And that's this week's Fucks. That's this week's Facts and Fuck... I made a fuck up. Facts and Fuck Ups. Give us a fact. This week, because there were so many facts, I didn't... I said last week, when I started Give Us a Fact, I never expected to get many facts at all. And the first week, you knocked it out of the park. And this week, I had so many facts and things about this movie that I didn't know. And because of that, I'm not just focusing on one. I've picked 3 this week. So I'm going to kick it off with Autumn Girl at Heart on Instagram. This movie was Johnny Depp's debut. It was his movie debut. And you can see from this movie how talented he was. And we all know where he went and what he'd done after this movie. But it makes me wonder, had Wes Craven not picked him, and had he picked someone else, would Johnny Depp still have become the big star? Was it this movie that propelled Johnny Depp, or Johnny Depp that helped propel this movie? And my personal opinion is I think it was Johnny Depp. I think it was the cast of this movie as a whole that made this movie work. But in particular, Robert Englund, Johnny Depp, and Heather Langenkamp. Those are the 3. Take any one of those out of this movie, and I don't think it does as well. Our next fact is from Frightswag. An epidemic of young men passing away in their sleep in the Philippines inspired half of the concept for this movie. I genuinely didn't know that fact. I thought this had all come completely out of Wes Craven's mind, so that fact blew my mind. And then the final fact is from Film Mondo. Heather Langenkamp her hair was supposed to turn completely white after her time at the Dream Institute, but the wig looked so horrendous that they went with a white streak instead. And that is Give Us a Fact from 3 fantastic accounts, all on Instagram. Again, links are in the bio to go and find all of those accounts. And thank you very much to all three for giving us a fact.
Morality sucks.
We've reached that time in the show. I am absolutely pumped. The You Run podcast is about to have a crisis. It's going to be a lady crisis. And I cannot wait for you to hear everything she's got to say and share. She's incredible. Without any more fucking around, Lady Crysis.
This is Lady Crysis.
What's the beef of this?
This is Lady Crysis. Crysis.
I am a nightmare walking.
This is Lady Crysis. Crysis.
And welcome, Lady Crysis, to Home of Halloween's You Run podcast.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. It's been a long wait since we first started talking about you coming on the show. So I think we first started talking probably the middle of season 2, maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I think so.
So you got a choice for Killer Classic Week of pretty much all the original horror icons.
Yeah.
And you chose Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep, that's my guy.
What made you choose the original Nightmare on Elm Street? What is it about that movie that made you go for it over a Halloween or over a Friday the 13th? Or what is it about Freddy that's different for you?
Oh man. So the funny thing is I was terrified of Freddy until I was about 22. Like I could not even look at the cover of the movie. My older brother, as a kid, he traumatized me. So I think a lot of it comes from the trauma and then just watching the movie in my 20s. And I was like, holy shit, this movie's awesome. And then I just became obsessed. I was just obsessed with Freddy Krueger.
I've got to say, having rewatched it for this episode, I was amazed at how well the special effects hold up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's because they relied on practical effects. So that bit where Freddy comes in through the wall above the bed, that looks better than anything they'd done in CGI when they tried to recreate that in the remake.
For sure,
it didn't look as good.
Yeah, too much CGI in the remake. I love 80s because it's just so artistic and creative, and the way they just do everything, it's so much different.
I think in the 80s, I think a lot of that was through lack of choice. They had an idea of what they wanted to do, and then it was like, how are we going to do it?
Yeah.
Whereas now, I think they're a little bit lazy now. They go, oh, we need to make this happen. Oh, let's just do it on the computer. It's quicker.
Yeah, I agree.
With Nightmare on Elm Street, obviously this episode is on the original. Is that your favourite in the franchise?
Yeah.
It is your favourite.
Yeah, I mean, I love them all, but that first one is just, I have it's just such a nostalgic connection for me that it's my favorite for sure.
I really enjoy it. It's not my favourite. My favourite, I hate to say, is Dream Warriors, which I know is probably one of the tackiest out of the whole lot.
I still sing your song, Dream Warriors.
I'm not going to do it again. I've tortured people enough with that. Freddy Krueger inspired you not just because you love the film, but a lot of your. I don't know if a lot of my listeners know what you do. So you are predominantly a TikTok and Reels account. And would you class yourself? Are you a cosplayer? Is that what you class yourself as?
I guess I would say that now. I mean, it didn't really start out that way, but yeah, I guess I would say that.
Freddy features in a lot of your videos.
Yeah. It's funny because I go the more comedy route with it, because the mask that I bought is it's so horrible that you can't really be scary with it. So yeah, I mean, most of my videos are just really goofy, but I just love Freddy. So I think a lot of people, when they look at those, they laugh at. I get more likes on the Freddy.
The crazy thing is, I've got a Freddy mask as well. And if people haven't got one and haven't got a latex mask, they don't realise how horrible they are to wear.
Oh God, they're so bad. They're really bad.
Especially if you try and record something that's got any sort of transition in it, you put it on and you can't really see properly, and then when you try and line yourself up again, it's an absolute nightmare.
Oh, it is. And with TikTok, you have to do multiple recordings to get it just right. And a lot of the time, that mask, I can't even see what I'm doing. I can't breathe. So I try to make it real short.
I've dabbled in TikTok and I have no clue on TikTok. It is so hard. I find Instagram Reels really easy because they've kind of made it, they've made it for me, they've made it idiot
Mhm.
proof.
Mhm.
Whereas TikTok, you need an element of skill and an element of understanding what you're doing.
But I have not actually done the reels yet. I've only been like using my TikToks and I upload them to Instagram, and they do relatively well on Instagram, even though they come from TikTok format.
Because you do a lot of makeup on there as well. I mean,
Mhm.
the amount that you post, do you have like a schedule that you work to? Do you like plan what you're doing, or do you just do what I do and kind of go, I've got a free 10 minutes, let's wing something?
Yeah, so the makeup videos, those ones are a little bit more planned because I have to figure out the look that I'm gonna do, the sounds that I'm gonna use with it, and then, I'll typically make 10 to 15 of them at a time so that, throughout the week, I don't have to put as much effort in. I do, like, one big day of recording, and then I post them throughout the week, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Mhm.
I did wonder because you will post, sometimes you'll post 5 videos in a day, and I sit there going, how on earth have you got the time to do that?
Right, no. No, drafts are your best friend on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mean, there's days where you just don't wanna record at all, and the algorithm on TikTok is so tricky because I've gone, like, maybe a week without posting, and my views will go down. So, I've done, like, a lot of research, watching YouTube tutorials on TikTok experts, and they say try to, post 3 to 5 times daily if possible, so that's why I try to do a lot of drafts so I don't have to worry about it every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I will sit in the struggling on TikTok because I don't think with having kids and a family and a dog and all the other things in my life, I don't think I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
time to spend
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole
My
day.
I have a 4-year-old, and most of the time, he's just playing with cars and trucks while I'm doing all this in the background, so I totally get it.
Do, do you think he goes to nursery and goes, yeah, my mum's crazy?
Uh, no, but he has some questionable drawings that I think are awesome, but I'm like, "Oh my god, I hope his teacher really isn't, picking this apart."
Yeah, well, I saw on TikTok the other day because I don't know if people know, but you're a school counsellor,
Yes, mhm.
and one of your students come across your TikTok account.
Yeah, yeah, that was a little, bit traumatizing at the moment. I mean, once I kinda calmed down, it was okay, but when the student said that her and her friend had been watching my TikToks all morning, I was like, "Oh, no." Because teenagers are just so fast with their phones. Who knows who saw it, you know?
Well, there is that, but take the positive. Think of all the additional views you would have got when that went like wildfire through the school.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I'm cool with it now, but I'm like, okay, there is an audience that I may need to put some videos on just for friends.
Yeah, yeah. And I saw because you posted a video saying you were sort of like, what do I do?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm the same. I had one of my eldest sons is he's just coming up 15, and he's like some of his friends listen to the podcast,
Mhm.
and it's one of those things I can't stop it happening. But by the
Right.
same token, I don't want it to spread like wildfire through all of his friends, and that become my new listener base because
Y
it's my show's not necessarily appropriate for that.
I think at that age, though, if they're into horror, it's pretty cool.
Well, the crazy thing is when we were younger, watching a horror movie at like 10 or 12 or sometimes even younger really wasn't an issue. It
Right.
was something like horror movies were just there. You'd go to Blockbuster and you'd get a horror movie, and it was just normal. But now I think the world's a lot more protective of our children now than
Mhm.
we probably weren't as protected as much, but from media as kids are today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember with my brother, we would just turn on the TV, and do you remember USA Up All Night? I remember watching that, and that was when I saw most of the horror movies.
I
And
know
then
that they've all got access to it on their phones and on Netflix and wherever, but I think it depends on how strict you are as a parent as to how much you restrict that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things I'll let my boys watch, and there's other things I wouldn't. I wouldn't sit down and go, let's sit down and watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But something like maybe Dream Warriors, I would probably go, that's okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's kind of it kind of sits more in comedy than it does in horror. There's a couple of bits in there, but because it's from the 80s, but my boys would probably just look at it and laugh and go, this is terrible.
Hey, Nancy. No running in the hallway.
You've got your own merchandise range as well, haven't you?
Yes, I did. I started, well, I'm actually a graphic designer as well. That's what I had my first degree in. So I still kind of do that on the side. And I started doing some school counseling shirts, and it really took off for me. And I was like, well, why don't I tap into, something I really love, which is the horror. So I created a little merchandise website for that as well.
What is your website so everyone can go and have a look at the stuff you do? Because I had a look today, and I had a look again last week, and the shirts and stuff you've got, I think great. They're really, really good.
Thank you. Well, the link is in my bio on both my TikTok and on Instagram. It's just a Teespring website. But yeah, right now I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have about 5 designs on there right now.
And they are really good. And I'd recommend anyone who's listening to go and have a look, because I'm pretty sure at least a few of you are going to buy something.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Right now I do have a couple promo codes that I can share with you. For the US, I have free shipping throughout Halloween. You have to use promo code FlasherFree. And then I also have a 10% discount, because I know the free shipping is only for the US. So the 10% discount is Killer10, 10.
Shh. Don't tell Lady Crysis. I didn't tell her I was going to do this, but here we go. You need to go and check out her merchandise. You really, really, really do. She plays it down so much, and it's a little bit annoying because she's incredibly gifted, an incredibly gifted artist. She's got so much merchandise that's great and that's unique and like nothing I've seen before, that you need to go and have a look. Go and have a look for yourself. It's really well priced, and there's a really big range. A minute ago she's going, oh yeah, well I've got a couple, and she's got fucking loads. She's got some brilliant designs. She's got killer vibes. She's got that/tastic. I love horror. Not only that, she's got 80s horror kid. That's me. I'm an 80s horror kid. Sweet Creep is the other design she's got. Now, she does everything. And I shit you not when I say everything. Literally everything. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, leggings, shorts, mugs, pillows, towels, stickers, water bottles, you name it, it is on there in her designs. Go and have a look, and I guarantee you're going to see something you like. Not only that, she's given some discount codes. So you've got, if you're in the US and you want free shipping, it's /3. And if you want 10% off, it's Killer10. So go to the link in either of her bios, so either on TikTok at LadyCrysis7 or on Instagram, which is also at LadyCrysis7. Click on her link, it will take you to her shop, and then just have a browse, have a nosy through. And you really need to, because I was genuinely surprised at how good the stuff is. It's better than most other stuff on the market, and that's not me. I'm not shitting you. It really, really is that good. But shh, don't tell Lady Crysis, because I didn't tell her I was doing it. Moving away a little bit from what you do, and a little bit away from Nightmare on Elm Street, what is your favourite horror movie?
Other than Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 for sure.
Evil Dead. Oh, so you
Yep.
sit in the same camp as Heather Silman from Wednesday Wine and Horror.
Yep. I love that episode, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. A bit of an exclusive. I think we went out in the trailer on the bonus episode, but Heather's coming back on the show.
Oh, that's so cool.
So Heather's going to come on and I've not revealed the movie yet, so I'll reveal it now. She's going to come on and review the Blair Witch Project with me, because she loves camping so much.
That's a good one too.
And for that episode, I'm actually going to record my part from the forest where I live at night.
Oh, creepy.
It was an idea that I had that I suggested it to Heather while we were talking, and then it kind of become a thing, and now it's happening, and I don't want it to happen.
Well, now it has to happen, right?
It has to happen, and I've managed to rope someone else in to come and record me recording the episode so I can share all the videos. But I think that episode will do well because Heather's joining me. But I think the videos will probably do better because I really don't want to go and sit in the forest at night. So are you willing to give the quiz a go? So you're going to be the first competitor on our new quiz, which is Purge or Play.
Let's do it.
You are now entering the Purge or Play arena. The quiz for Home of Halloween's You Run podcast. The question is, will you purge or will you play? Okay, so Purge or Play, this is the first time we've done it. So there's 10 questions. They start off really, 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 really easy. And you get 5 points per question. Every one you get right. As we progress through, they get harder and harder and harder. But because of that, I've given you 3 purges. So you can use a purge and effectively pass the question and not answer it. And you'll still get 2 points for that question. Any purges you've got left at the end, you get 3 points for. So if you can hang on to them and you know the answers, just go for it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay, so question 1. Who played Freddy Krueger in the 1984 Nightmare on Elm Street?
Is this a trick question?
No, that's genuinely the
No,
question. I did say that stuff was really easy.
Robert Englund.
It was Robert Englund, so you got 5 points straight out of the gate. Question 2. What was the name of the hotel where The Shining takes place?
Oh, God, my husband would know this.
If you don't know it and you think you're going to get it wrong, you can always use a purge and you'll still get 2 points for it.
It's too early to use a purge. Okay, we'll have to use it then.
You're going to use the purge?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get 2 points for that question and the answer, and you're now going to kick yourself. It was the Overlook Hotel.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, I don't want my husband to listen to this.
Question 3. What year did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre get released, the original?
Ooh, is it 1978?
Oh, it wasn't. It was 1974.
Oh, okay.
Close though. It was in the 70s, so that was at least in the right
I knew
decade.
it was in the
70s. Question 5. Which comedian inspired Jordan Peele to write Get Out?
Oh, Get Out. What comedian inspired Jordan Peele? Dave Chappelle?
No, it wasn't. It was Eddie Murphy, believe it or not.
Okay, all right.
So you're 5 questions in, and so far you've got 7 points, which don't worry, you're the first one to do it. And this quiz is infinitely harder than Horror Not Horror.
Oh yeah.
I've deliberately made it harder, so
Okay.
don't worry. You've still got 2 purges left as well, so you can definitely get at least another 4 points in the last 5 questions.
Okay.
So question 6. Which of these movies is not based on a book? Psycho, Rosemary's Baby, The Ring, or Hereditary?
Psycho, The Ring, Hereditary. What was the other one?
It was Psycho, Rosemary's Baby, The Ring, or Hereditary.
Let's go with The Ring.
Oh, it wasn't. It was Hereditary.
Oh, okay. Ooh, these are tough.
They're really, really hard, and I make no excuses. This is meant to be a really hard quiz.
Okay.
Who was the female lead in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds?
We're gonna go for a purge on this one.
You're going to go for a purge. Okay, it was Tippi Hedren.
Okay.
2 points for that one. Question 8. Which movie gave John Travolta his first movie role?
is a tough one because he's done so many movies.
I'll give you a clue. It was a horror movie.
It was a horror movie?
It was a horror movie, yeah.
Ooh, I'm drawing a blank.
You've got one purge left, and then you've got 2 questions to go after that.
I guess I'm gonna have to do a purge.
You're going to do a purge?
Yep.
Okay, it was The Devil's Reign, which is actually a really good film, and I recommend.
I have never seen that.
I hadn't seen it until I put these questions together. And when I saw that was his first movie role, I went, I'm going to go and have a look. And I was pleasantly surprised. He's very, very young.
The Devil's Reign. Okay.
So you've got 2 questions left, one of which is an Evil Dead question.
Okay.
Question number 9. Who is the first character to be possessed in the Evil Dead?
Do I need to know the character's name?
Just their first name.
Oh, man. I have no idea.
It was Cheryl.
I was going to say Cindy.
And your final question, question number 10. Who directed It Follows?
Wow, you would think that I would know more than I do.
I was gobsmacked at the amount that I didn't know. So I actually went looking for, I created all these questions myself, and I went looking for purposely hard facts because I want this to be hard. I don't want anyone scoring 50, 60 points. I want it to be challenging, especially for this season. I've got so many guests on this season. So it was only the debut episode where I didn't have a guest. So you're our first guest on, and then I've got another 8 episodes after you with 8 more guests. I want it to be hard. I want everyone to listen to you and go, shit, what am I going to do?
Absolutely.
I want people going through, like, searching IMDb and trying to study for it.
Well, I'm glad I get to be the guinea pig, but yeah. I don't know the last one.
You don't know the last one?
No.
Okay, it was David Robert Mitchell.
Wouldn't have guessed it.
No, I wouldn't expect anyone to guess any of these answers. But they did. They started off really easy. They ramp up really quick.
Yes.
You scored 11.
Okay, well,
So,
it's better than nothing.
As of today, you are top of the leaderboard. Your play.
Yeah.
Right. And on the next episode, so on the episode coming up next, there's 2 competitors who are taking on the quiz together, who've both been guests on the show before. So I've got Bruce Martin is returning, and he's coming back with Mark from MW Horror Reviews.
Oh, they're good.
They're going to come on together. I think they're going to spend more time arguing about the answer than actually answering the questions.
That's funny.
But you've set the bar at 11, which I think is a respectable score. I tested this quiz earlier on Lisa, and Lisa didn't score that. So I think you've done well. I think Lisa scored a 5 or a 6.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa.
that was Lisa in the background just shouting that she's rubbish. What can she say?
It's tough, man. That was tough.
It was really tough. Really tough. So that's the first purge or play out of the way. So Lady Crysis was the first person to take on purge or play. Purge or play, as I'm sure you will agree, is an incredibly hard quiz. Incredibly hard. And the guests we've got coming on will all have heard Lady Crysis take on purge or play. So they've all got an advantage because they know what's coming. Now, me and Lisa discussed this after I recorded with Lady Crysis. And we both feel that as she was at a disadvantage coming in, going in blind to an incredibly hard quiz that she had no prep for, and all she got was the bit at the beginning when I explained the rules, we feel that she should get some extra points to level the playing field. And that's me and Lisa. That's a Home of Halloween unanimous decision that because she was at such a disadvantage, she gets some extra points. So Lady Crysis is getting an additional 10 points. That's 1 point per question for being the first person to take on the stupidly hard quiz. On I know that's going to make it harder for other competitors, but don't take this the wrong way, future guests. Fuck you. You've heard it. You know what you're up against, and Lady Crysis didn't. So, Lady Crysis's score, topping off our leaderboard, is 21. That's the score to beat, people. So, Bruce and Mark, you're up next. You're going after 21. And let's see how you do. Let's carry on with the show, because I want to find out what else Lady Crysis has got coming. What have you got planned coming up? Are you going to be doing... Are you going to port over and do some more reels, or are you going to focus on TikTok, or where should people be going to get the best content from you?
Well, as long as TikTok doesn't keep banning my stuff, I'll probably be doing more stuff on TikTok, and then, putting it over on Instagram.
Have you had stuff banned on TikTok then?
Yeah, well, horror is a very tricky genre on TikTok because of all of their guidelines. So, I mean, I've had videos banned for just having a plastic prop, like a Jason machete plastic prop. So that's definitely, if you're going to do TikTok, stay away from anything like that. And a couple of my videos have been tagged for disturbing content. And if you go back and look at it, it's like, this is hilarious. How is this disturbing? But I don't know. Maybe it would be for someone who's not into horror.
How bizarre. Because in my head, your videos aren't going to pop up on TikTok unless someone is searching for that kind of content all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if I make it on their For You page, there's it just, the algorithm is so funky. But I think it's just they have new guidelines now, and it's not just me, even like huge creators who are doing, some extremely awesome SFX makeup, they're getting banned, and it's just crazy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that really is crazy, because I'm not being funny. Your videos are good, they're entertaining, but at no point would I say they've disturbed me.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I want to start doing some more makeup looks just for October. So I think I'm going to start focusing on that and bring back some more Freddy, because it's been a minute since I've done some Freddy skits.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I mean, on the makeup side of it, have you had any training on doing the makeup? Because some of your makeup is exceptional.
No, not at all. But there's always room to grow. I'm very in the beginning stages. I want to start working with more like prosthetics, and just watching videos on how that is. And there are some really good TikTok creators that have some awesome tutorials. If you're interested in anything like that, you can find some good artists on there that give you some really good tips on how to make.
So you're completely
makeup.
self-taught then?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That for me makes your account even more impressive than it was before.
Thank you.
Well, looking at some of the makeup you've done, I was adamant that you've had some sort of formal training, because I try and do Halloween makeup every year for the kids and for me, and even if I sit there for an hour, I can't get anywhere close to what you create.
It takes practice for sure.
It doesn't sit in my wheelhouse. It's not where my forte lies, unfortunately.
Well, maybe your kids can do it for you.
Maybe my younger kids. We've got polar opposites. So we've got my daughter who's just coming up 4, and she's not scared of anything at all. Literally no fear whatsoever. And then we've got my son who's coming up 6, and he's scared of his own shadow.
Total opposite.
It's total opposite. So like if ever you see I've done a video where I've used a Freddy mask or a Jason mask or my Michael Myers mask or anything like that, that's always done either when they're at school or in the dead of night. Because,
yeah.
Because if Ig sees it, he would be traumatized for life.
Yeah. That's funny. My son is he's so used to it by now.
Because he's appeared in quite a few of your videos as well, and every time I've seen him in a video, he's kind of got a look as if saying, she's got a Freddy mask on again. There's absolutely no fear there whatsoever.
No, not at all. Nope.
I think the only video I saw where he did jump was the one where you burst through I'm assuming it was your kitchen door.
Yeah, it was like the bathroom hallway.
Oh, is
which is just,
that what it
yeah,
was?
yeah.
Yeah,
But
you burst through and he kind of jumped and then all of a sudden twigged it was you and was kind of, oh, it's fine.
yeah, he was more upset that because I burst through like a roll of paper. He was more upset that I ruined the paper than being scared.
I think your account is great, and I think everyone should go and follow you. So you're at Lady Crisis 7
Yes,
on Instagram.
Instagram and TikTok, same handle.
The same handle on both.
Yep.
Okay, well, in this episode bio, we're going to have your TikTok and your Instagram, and we're also going to have the link to your merchandise. There is one other thing I want to touch on because I mentioned it to you in the build up to the show, and you were like, "Oh my god, you found it," which is your DJ career.
Oh, yep. Mhm.
So you done a bout of DJing.
Yeah, I started DJing right around my freshman year of college. I was about 18 or 19, and then I continued to DJ for about 10 years, and it was really like my passion at the time. And I lived in Iowa up north, and then I moved to Florida specifically to DJ and be a part of that scene. So it really holds a special place in my heart.
Oh wow, I didn't
Mhm.
realize you moved across country to do it.
Yep.
I liked what you'd done, and I was going to use it for your intro music, and you were like, no. Thank you very much for finding it, but no.
No, I love it. It's kind of funny now because I call myself like a bedroom DJ. Like I'm not playing out. I'll just throw on records, for my son because he loves a lot of the electronic stuff that I have.
So he likes the electronic stuff you've got.
Oh yeah, he's really likes he's like a huge Daft Punk fan and he likes Kraftwerk, which is super old. So I love that about him that he's really into all that old stuff that I love.
And the crazy thing is, you're going to find that when he gets older, he's going to have such a good taste in music.
Yeah, for sure. He knows how to put the vinyl on. He knows how to put the needle on the record and turn the mixer on. I'm like, this is so cool.
I'm not being funny. Maybe it's time for a comeback because you don't need to do any of that stuff now. He can do that all for you.
Yeah, for sure. That would be great.
But I would recommend it. I'm going to actually share the link to your link tree.
Yeah, that would be
Because
awesome.
I think everyone should go and watch you because you've got a video on there. Where were you playing in the video?
That was downtown Des Moines. I was a headliner with Slipknot, the DJ from Slipknot, which is Sid. He's a good friend of my brother. So I was like the main DJ, and then they scratched over my set. So that was in 2005, I believe.
Oh wow! Because on the video that is there's a big event. There's lots of people there.
Yeah, I think there was about 5,000 people there. It was really cool.
Wow! That must have been incredible. And to be DJing with someone from Slipknot, it's that's like claim to fame time.
Oh yeah, that was probably one of the best nights of my life.
Obviously, your wedding and having a child and everything else has surpassed it. But...
Yeah, those come in second and third, I guess.
It's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and I'm glad you've come on and you've talked about your cosplay and what your account does and everything else, and given your views on Nightmare on Elm Street. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. This was really exciting.
I first spoke to you, you were like, well, I've never done a podcast, but okay.
Yeah, no, I haven't. So this was really fun.
They get easier. They genuinely get easier. And I know that a lot of people. So, like Mark, when he come on, it was the first time he'd been on a podcast. The same for Bruce when he first come on. And then we had Heather on, who's done countless podcasts of her own and been guests on everyone's. And it is something that gets easier. I mean, if you go back and listen to like episode 1 and 2 I done, it's like I listen to them now and I cringe.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on and you've been great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You are going to get some sleep tonight if it kills me.
So we've done it. We've had our first guest of this season. And what a guest she was. I cannot thank Lady Crysis enough. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, Lady Crysis, you are an absolute star. Not only did you go into the hardest quiz I've ever done, infinitely harder than Horror Not Horror, infinitely harder than the hardest horror quiz I do on Instagram, but you also come on a podcast when you've never done one before, which takes incredible guts. Not only that, you have worked so hard in the promotion of this episode, and I genuinely cannot thank you enough. The TikToks you've done have been incredible. The reels you've done, the work you've done to advertise and to push this episode has been outstanding. And from the bottom of my heart, I really, really thank you. Thank you so, so much. And anytime you want to come back on the show, just drop me a message and you are always welcome. Always welcome on the You Run podcast. I want to say a few more thank yous. A huge thank you to Madman Audio. I know I thank him every week, but I feel that he deserves to be thanked every week. He is the man with the music. He is the man who gives us our intro, our outro, our 3-word review. He is such a big supporter of the show, and I know he listens, and I know he's a fan, and I can't thank him enough. So thank you to him as well. Now, next week, I've already revealed earlier that we've got Bruce Martin and Mark from MW Horror Reviews coming on the show. I've had them both as guests before. I've decided that they need to do a little bit more work this time. So next week is What the Fuck Did I Just Watch Week? And you all in your infinite wisdom picked the instant classic, the incredible, amazing, wonderful, Oscar-worthy movie, Sharknado. When that movie got picked, I made the decision there is no fucking way I am reviewing that shit on my own. So, next week, Mark from MW Horror Reviews and Bruce from Tonight with Bruce Martin are not my guests. They are my co-hosts. And they will be there from the minute I say, welcome to the You Run podcast, till the very, very end. It is going to be not only what the fuck did I watch week, but I'm pretty sure you're all going to be saying, what the fuck did I just listen to week? I cannot wait for next week. It is going to be like nothing I've ever done before. It's going to be incredibly hard to rein those two in. And I can't wait. So I will see you all next week. Thank you very, very much for listening. Don't forget, go and follow at Lady Crysis 7 on TikTok and on Instagram. Go and check out her merchandise. Go and show her love because she's worked so, so hard and she deserves every single bit of your support. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll catch you all next week. Thank you for listening to Home of Halloween's You Run podcast.
You've done your job well and Mommy is pleased.
Don't forget you can get involved in the show in so many ways. The 3-word review.
He's insane now.
Give the show a call. Anchor.fm/Home of Halloween. Leave us a voicemail and get a play on the air.
Beers to the left of me, beers to the right of me, let's do it.
Not to mention, give us a fact.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
This is the You Run podcast because you run the show.
Welcome to a new world of gods and monsters.
If you enjoy the show, leave us a review wherever you can.
This is God.
Or reach out to us direct and send us a DM.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
You want to die tonight?